Welcome to the Just Chirpin' Podcast, the show about hockey, life, and everything in between. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this train wreck.
What's up, boys?
What's up?
Evening.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the subtle tones of Chris and his memoir. Today we'll be talking about Chapter 2.
Actually, you know, you had me intrigued there for a second. I think you're onto something. Honestly. So, Chris, obviously, starting with you, per usual. What's up, man? How's it been?
It's been good. Just trying to get ready for Christmas, if you couldn't tell around here.
So we were just yapping about that. You may have crossed that fine line between...
Obsession?
I don't know where to put that. You made it. You said it right. You felt like you walked into a JCPenney's or a Kohl's on Christmas Eve.
There are so many poinsettias in here that...
I am petrified that they're going to not make it till Christmas.
Oh, they're alive?
Oh,
Yes.
those are real.
They're all real. I
Thank
spent
God
40
I'm
minutes.
not allergic.
I spent 40 minutes today watering all of them.
How much, can I ask how much that cost you?
It was less than $100.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I must say, Chris, you are a little bit of what I would call a minimalist.
There's 20 of them.
20 plants?
There's like 80 of them.
No,
I think
there's
you
20.
miscounted.
He remembers. He bought them.
Some of them are bigger.
I would say walk into your house, you come across as somewhat of a minimalist. So you don't have knickknacks and things. Like you have, it seems like everything in your house has a purpose. So it's very clean.
You
it's
haven't
very
seen
tidy.
behind the,
I'm
cupboard
sure,
doors.
Right. I haven't opened any cupboards, but no, you said the other day that you really like decorating's big for you and you enjoy doing it
For Christmas
and
and
very
stuff,
good
yeah.
job. Honestly, I didn't walk in and go, oh my God. I walked in and was like, oh wow, looks nice.
Little change of pace.
Absolutely. I think it looks nice, but yes, you did go to what I would call the extreme for some people.
Just don't touch anything, Jay.
Yep. Nope. So the kid's not welcome.
A couple of years ago, Stephan's kid came over and walked in. This was at my old apartment, but the tree was pretty similar. Took one look at it and started bawling.
Oh,
So
really?
I think he was a little overwhelmed.
That's okay.
It could be the case.
Yeah.
I think you did a fantastic job.
But yeah. So trying to get ready for Christmas, get the Christmas shopping out of the way, all that good stuff. So
Yes, I went part of the side, I guess, for me kick is I went to the mall on Saturday. What a bad idea that was.
On a Saturday during Christmas season?
Yeah, and because normally we do the Christmas shopping a little early and, we all go together in a group of guys, and so it's always been different. But however, me and the wife went there, and not for Christmas shopping, just to grab something, and it was a nightmare. And I don't like crowds to begin with, and I don't like crowds because crowds are unpredictable, and I don't like when people are doing stupid stuff like, hey, let's just stand right in the middle of the only pathway of moving around the mall and look at something instead of getting out of the way when I have a group of 5 people. Kids, old people, dumb people, whatever,
Kids.
however you want to say
kids are really
it.
starting to bother me.
Well, you know what I ended up doing is saying, all right, honey, I'm going to take the baby and go to the play section and sit down and watch my daughter play while you do the shopping. And that was way less stressful for me.
Yeah.
They have the play areas open back up?
Yeah, but they, like every 15 minutes, they close it down for 15 minutes to clean it thoroughly. So it was weird because I sat down and we played for 5 minutes, had to get up and wait 15 for it to be clean. And then by that point, the wife had come back by to leave, and I was like, oh, great.
Oh, man.
I stood here and did nothing. I did have a couple moms come talk to me. I wasn't wearing my wedding ring. The wife noticed. But I took it off the other day when I was putting my beard oil on because it catches a lot of my beard oil and sits in there. So I take it off to put the beard oil in and put it back on. I must have forgot to put it back on.
Is that why you still don't have it on?
Actually, it's stupidly ugly because all my other ones have broken. So it's like a backup and it's just dumb looking. And so I told the wife, I'm like, Christmas present. So I have purposely stopped wearing it so she buys me another.
Oh.
Yeah, she'll get you a new.
Because I have to
wedding
wear
band.
the silicone ones. I don't like wearing like a hard band. It's weird for me to do that, especially at work. So, yeah, but that's my what's what. So I skipped right over stuff. What's up with you, bud?
Oh, that's all right. I don't really have a whole lot to report, fellas. I do. I was invited to skate on Sunday night, which I don't normally play on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
I happened to be working on Sunday, so I decided to say yes with my wife's blessing to skate on Brent's 35-plus team on Sunday night. So I had a good skate on
What's
Sunday
it like
night.
to be the young buck on the team?
A little different.
Wow.
I felt like I had a little bit of jump, a little more time. I think over 35 is where I'm headed, boys.
Oh, so that was like you're gonna play the rest of the year?
No, I was just
filling.
I was just
okay.
subbing.
I was gonna say.
Yes, I can't commit to. I'm not playing every Sunday night.
Yeah, no, that's a tough one. We've talked about that.
Thanks
before.
for a harder Monday if you have a couple of cocktails on a Sunday night and all that good stuff.
Speaking of skating, I had my second camp today, and we did have some growth. So we had some new faces. That was super exciting. So again, for any listeners who have kids between the ages of 10 to 14. That is at 4:30 at Georgetown on Wednesdays.
4:30 p.m. Georgetown.
Yep. On Wednesdays. There is a link. So if you guys reach out to the email on here and request the link, I can send that to you.
We could probably have Brent include the link on the webpage somewhere too.
Yep. We can also try to figure that out.
Speaking
technology.
of Brent, actually.
Yes. So
should we mention the elephant in the room?
Yeah, so shorthanded. Clearly, we skipped right over Brent because he's not here. But there's good reason, listeners. He's not just fooling us off like I usually do. The rink opened up FTK League, Wednesday night leagues.
Yeah, I think they probably have a couple of other nights too, but I want to say this is probably the first skate they've had on it. I mean, ice was just built, and we've had cold temp, so.
Yes, which next week is supposed to go back to the 50s. So we'll see how it holds for next week.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, for that matter, Brent might be back next week, but it looks like Wednesday nights he might be out for the foreseeable future, at least through February. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We'll probably bring in some guest hosts to cover his spot. We talked about moving to another night of the week that would work a little bit better for the four of us. Unfortunately, it's not going to be beneficial for you and I, based on your hockey schedule with your children, my hockey schedule with my son, and then all of our personal stuff. So we're going to try to let it ride on Wednesday nights still. And then we'll just plug his spot. And then when the pond melts, Brent will be right back in the fold and be business as usual.
I think one thing we're going to try to do is, get out there on a few Sundays and do a little FTK pod,
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Get some video involved and have some fun out on the ice.
Yeah, we could do a little skate, have the mic set up, come back and forth. Maybe Chris can hang out on the dasher board with a handful of beer.
Or we can dress
a
buddy
buddy heater
in goalie pads.
That'd be fun, too. Chris, would you be our goalie?
Would you do that?
I don't know about goalie.
For the show.
For the show. For the show.
We'll put you in all the pads. You're not going to get hurt.
You're not going to get hurt. Neither of us can shoot very hard.
Yeah.
So.
Would I only have to goaltend in the little
no, you just stand there.
Hockey net?
You don't even have to worry about your save percentage. Just stand there and
this sounds awful.
we'll give you a cup.
This sounds awful.
What are you worried about?
I don't want to be a punching bag out there.
Oh,
Again, your
These
pads are going to
muffins.
be so big you're not even going to feel anything. And we ain't professionals. So.
All right, well, we'll table that and we'll come back to
We'll
it.
see.
But anyway,
We'll see how he feels after a couple of cocktails. He might decide he
Exactly.
wants to do that.
So they're going to be Joe stunts, except they're going to be called Chris stunts.
I heard that causes mental damage, so I don't want to sign myself up for that.
We did talk about that earlier. Well, speaking of.
Yeah, mental damage.
Yeah.
Or somebody who seems to be bouncing back. Mr. Kyle Rittenhouse, the gentleman from Illinois/Wisconsin, has been, who's already out in the news and stuff because of everything going on, but he has been hitting the talk circuit like crazy.
Yeah, so I had asked you about this earlier. Like, has anybody heard about what's going on? Someone who doesn't keep up on that kind of stuff. And you're telling me it sounds like, he was told to stay low, but he is doing everything other than.
Yeah, it seems will talk to anybody with a pulse that will listen. So he's been all over the place over the last couple of weeks. So he's even getting out there and throwing down mean tweets at LeBron James. So, he's just going after everyone.
Yeah, because I did hear LeBron
started it.
He did. He totally dogged him for crying on the stand. So,
Well, and Kyle had said that he was a Lakers fan too, and not so much anymore after LeBron made those comments about him.
Well, LeBron said a lot of dumb things these last year.
Well, that's funny you mentioned he said dumb things, because the most recent podcast he was on, one of the hosts had made a comment, well, you guys got to relax and understand that LeBron had to connect all 4 of those brain cells together at one time to formulate that chirp.
Yeah.
Zing.
For somebody who is such an amazing athlete, he sure is not socially savvy when it comes to, I look at it this way. LeBron's a good enough player where F you if you don't like me, because he doesn't need your support, and I get that. But to have such a mountaintop to stand on in a platform, I guess I should say, to speak ignorance. You know what I mean? Like, and not that what he says isn't valid, but the way that he says it and the things that he says in the tweets, like, hey, bro, hold a conference if you're gonna do it. Don't throw
a mean tweet
out there that
nobody likes mean tweets.
Well, that's only one-sided though, right?
They like
it's
higher
only
gas
one-sided.
prices.
And then you got all these people who are following your ignorance, thus creating ignorant thinkers, because we always think like the people we look up to. It's where we get most of our knowledge from. So I don't know. We can go on and on about that all freaking day, but yeah, I don't know. He's not my favorite person.
No. I'll tell you who you don't get speaking on this, and that's the hockey players, because we're humble and we're kind, and we don't drag shit up. We just sit back and do our job. We don't speak on things that's outside of our playbook.
Right. When's the last time you heard Gretzky talking about something like this, or even Connor McDavid for that matter? I mean, stick to hockey. That's what you're a professional at. I don't care what your political views are.
Hockey players don't like to be bothered by the media and all of this background noise and stuff. We just want to go play hockey and
wheel broads.
And wheel broads.
Play hockey and wheel broads. I feel you. Hey.
Speaking of hockey, you should work in that sponsor read at some point in time.
I can do that. Why don't you guys go ahead and check out Pirani's Hockey World, the play store for the hockey player?
Nice. I was actually there the other day. Picked up a new helmet for the games, considering I got knocked out with my other helmet and cage.
Yeah.
Missed last week, so I didn't get to use it. So it's just been sitting on the table, and I've been staring at it. I'm ready to use it tomorrow.
Actually, you should probably just wear it every day to get used to it.
I've been breaking it in.
Take it to work with you.
Yeah, it's super comfortable helmet. It's the Warrior. I bought the Warrior helmet. Maybe not the fanciest looking. I'll give you that. It's kind of bland, but super comfortable. Covers quite a bit of the back of the noggin there. So kind of excited about it.
Yeah, it's always excited when you break in something like that. I just put one of those white on the inside, black on the outside cages on my helmet.
Those are pretty dope. I almost bought
I really
one of
like
those.
that. I'm happy with that.
Yep. I went with the all white only because I want people looking in to not see my face as well.
You wear a cage?
Yes.
Pussy?
Yes.
Well,
you see enough teeth get knocked out.
Yeah.
And
I would be.
Hang on to yours while you can.
Yes.
And I'm not worried about like losing a chiclet, because you had, your front tooth knocked out. It's just sitting in the chair afterwards to get the repair work done.
And the money.
And the financial constraints that bother me the most about it. So, yes, I'll take your chirp, non-hockey playing Chris. Give me a hard time for wearing a bird cage.
Yes.
But
I guess I could have used a cage when you knocked me in the mouth and chipped my tooth back in the day.
Oh, you shouldn't have been standing there.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. Stephan, you've played for a while without a cage, and I as well, and a few years. Actually, I played without even as much as a visor.
You went longer than I did.
Yeah, I went with no visor and everything. I was full-blown nothing, and it took the tooth getting knocked out for the cage went right back on. So, I look at it like you said, like I had to go to the hospital twice for that. I was out of pocket. I got really lucky that my dentist did the work for free.
Because he's family.
Because we're family.
Yes.
But I had to drive up to Gaylord, so it ate up an entire day plus another day because I hung out, which is fine. But, the trip up there and then the hospital, I had to go to the hospital first, and that was over $1,000. So you're sitting there.
Is it really worth it?
Is it worth it? And it's not at that point. Now, up until that point, I would have argued that it was very much worth it, and you were a pussy if you didn't wear one. But you lose one of them, and you're like, okay, that sucked. I had glue on my mouth for over a month, like talking like this. It was all yellow. I looked like an idiot.
When you see people that get a tooth chipped or whatever, Dodgy had one on a breakaway. A guy went to lift a stick, missed, and chipped his front teeth. It's really we're not that talented enough. Maybe we are, but the ones around us are not.
There's always a couple guys.
And flukes and accidents happen. How many times does a puck run up your stick?
Dude, how many times do you see
right in the beak?
An NHL player laying on the ground holding their face?
Right.
That's a lot.
It's pretty common.
It is. So what else you got for us for the news, Chris?
It's been a little hard to find, but a few details here and there are coming out on the Epstein's, or I guess not Epstein, but the Maxwell trial.
You can say Maxwell Epstein because it's a carry-on, right? I mean, they're moving forward with what was the Epstein. They're just now targeting Maxwell.
Yeah, I get a little thrown off now. I know what you're talking about because we wrote that down in the pre-show notes, and I'm like, Maxwell trial.
Yes.
And now you couple it with Epstein. Oh, Epstein. Yep. I know exactly what we're talking about.
Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yes.
Yep.
So apparently the second witness, I guess, has taken the stand. She was approached by Maxwell when she was 17 years old to come and, work at the Epstein household. I don't know if she was traveling all over with him like the first witness was. But again, same story. They recruited her in. They told her to go give Epstein a massage, and then he ended up pleasuring himself and all that goodness in front of her, and it kind of went on from there. And apparently she was also asked to recruit other girls for Maxwell and Epstein. So it's kind of interesting. Not a lot out there in the media or anything. So when I hear tidbits here and there, that's about it.
They're hush hush. I mean, I've done a couple because I'm actually interested in this since the first time we talked about the Epstein situation. I actually went home. I watched the Filthy Rich Netflix documentary. If you haven't,
I gotta watch that.
I think that's the one I was just thinking of too, where they did some interviews. It was set in Florida, right? And then the girls were interviewed and described everything that happened, and that they were actually put out there to recruit, just as you said. Is that the one?
Yeah, so it goes along like it covers the first time Epstein got charged, which was in 2016-ish, I think. Or not charged, the first time that they came after him. But he got a plea deal. It was super hush-hush. It was super quick. The prosecuting attorney gave a plea. He did 0 jail time. I think he just paid a bunch of money. But what they ended up happening was that he had so much crap on all these people that he was untouchable. So it starts there, and the whole Netflix thing does, and then it kind of goes on from some girls talking about what happened prior, because a lot of these girls that came out in 2016, except it got hushed and they got shut down. So then in 2020 or 19, I think, or 20 or whatever, when the Epstein thing happened, which was 20, it got re-brought up, and all these women came back, at which then he was essentially prosecuted and went on whether or not they were going to set bail or whatever. That's the night that he died. Like that night that they said, nope, we're not giving you a bail. You don't get a bail.
Oh, that's when he hung himself?
That's when he died. Yeah, I'm going to go with died. But
he didn't kill himself.
He passed away.
Right. And then it kind of goes through it just interviews so many people. It interviews workers of the island. It obviously interviews all the girls that have accused him. So there's a handful of girls on there. They tell their story. Here's the deal. I'm going to say this out loud. There's been many times where I've heard a girl cry rape or a girl cry sexual assault where I've been like, okay, but the story says that you did it 10 times, at which point, but then to hear these girls actually get their quote unquote 15 minutes of fame and actually tell their story and talk about why they did it again and again and again, the money, the riches, the promises, and you're a 17-year-old girl who has no other opportunities in life, and then you're being told that without this rich person raping you, you have no, like, you're done, you're on your own, and you have no,
have a worth.
you know what I mean? You start to really understand where they came from. And then on top of that, you know, the mental drama and whatever else you want to call that is caused, like, you really start to feel bad, and then you really start to feel disgusted by these people with money and what they do to people, because you know these aren't the only, you know, like Harry Weinstein, you know what I mean? Like,
Harvey.
I'm like, Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey, who gives a shit? He was a piece of
you
trash.
know, when that first came out and the Me Too movement started, it was kind of like, okay, but you didn't have to suck the wiener for the role. Like, you didn't have to do that. You chose to do that. But now,
you did.
I'm starting to, like, be like, man, even if you did do that, the mental drama that causes you later in life, knowing that you made that decision, can really affect you mentally. And so it really got me to really, like, see things from the other side. So I'm really, I would say, if you haven't seen it, I think it's Filthy Rich.
It is
on Netflix, the Epstein trial stuff. But
yeah,
you should watch it.
Turned me onto that when I was down with the COVIDs.
It's only a few episodes. I think it's only like 4 to 6. They're about 45 minutes each. So it was good. I watched it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I remember watching that in April.
Speaking of trials, there's another thing that came up. You were telling me?
Yeah. So the, I guess, fraud trial now for Jussie Smollett is going on. He was reportedly a victim of a hate crime back in like 2018 or something like that at his home in Chicago.
By a MAGA.
That's what he had claimed.
Okay. Yep.
So we all know that turned out to be a load of BS. It didn't happen. It was set up and stuff. So they're going through the trial now. I think he was brought up on some type of fraud charges for it, or lying to the police and stuff, because he did file a police report and all of that. And they kind of sensed right off the bat that this isn't adding up. So he's going through that trial. He apparently took the stand in his defense, which just made absolutely no sense. I don't know why he would open himself up to that.
So you went out there without counsel?
No, he has attorneys and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But I guess he wanted to go ahead and testify and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, I missed that part.
So he was up there, and during the cross-examination by the prosecutor, they were going through his text messages and stuff and repeating them verbatim. And about halfway through whatever text messages they were going through, he asked them to kindly not say the full N-word out anymore, as he had typed it in his text to the, I guess, co-conspirators, but to the brothers that he had hired to stage the attack on him.
So you mean that they were brothers, not the brothers?
No, he hired the brothers.
Two brothers.
Two brothers.
He's not related to them.
Just want to make sure that we're clear on that when you say it that way.
And then, too, I just want to clarify that and make sure that I'm looking at or hearing this correct. So he was using the N-word to them as like a, like,
hey, what's up,
what's
N-word?
up, my N-word, not, hey, you N-word, right?
Right.
So it was more of like a slang talk between
friends.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then the prosecutor was reading out loud what he had written verbatim, and he was asking her to stop saying it.
Yeah.
Could you please truncate that or not read that part?
That's actually kind of funny.
That is ironic.
That must have been in there a lot for him to finally like be on the stage or on the stand and hear it and, you know, kind of cringe at it and be like, all right, maybe this isn't the best.
Well,
you said it, you dumb son of a bitch.
Too, I can imagine like slang is, you know, like, what up, my,
right.
Which
What's
is
up,
like
cracker?
Which is slang versus the way she was probably saying it was more of like slave tone, like, what up, my?
I'm sure
hard N.
Every word,
hard G.
Every letter in that word was enunciated.
Right.
Well, if it was anything like the prosecutor in Wisconsin, there was no dramatic reading on it. It was pretty monotone and very, yeah.
Did you say, quote unquote?
Well, moving to some holiday spirit. What was this?
Speaking of conspiracy and fake things, Santa
Claus
Claus
should
here.
have led with that one after talking about the poinsettias around the room. But hey, we're bringing it back around.
I guess we could have. Yeah. So on the holidays, found out something kind of interesting about Michigan here. But I got a question for you guys. What year and what advertisement brought our modern day Santa Claus to the masses?
Okay, you're going to have to say that one more time because you confused
What
me.
year? Well, I know you were reading your text.
Yep, sorry.
What year and what product or company brought the modern day Santa Claus to the masses?
Oh, that's super easy. So we're talking Christmas, Chicago. What's that? Like the first giant retail store that they put there. I want to say it was Macy's, but I think
It would have been Marshall Fields.
Marshall Fields. So I'm going with Marshall Fields. Now, when was that built? That had to be early 1900s.
Okay, I'll give you early.
Yeah, I gotta say right around 1910, between
Okay,
10 and 20.
all right. Stephan, any idea?
No idea. This is just a guess. 1929 Coca-Cola.
Oh, dang. That's
You know, I'm going to give it to you on that. 1931 Coca-Cola.
Oh, half a point.
Good job.
I guess all that hemming and haw and Jay did to try to get to his with the Marshall Fields and everything.
Yeah.
No, but actually Marshall Field department stores quickly picked up on it and stuff. And within the next, it looks like 6-7 years, there were, Santa Claus is popping up all over in towns across the country, mainly at department stores as an attraction.
Yep.
And in 1937, up in Rochester, New York, Mr. Charles W. Howard, who was a dairy farmer and also Santa Claus during December season, realized that a lot of these Santa Clauses weren't really living up to, a good standard, sloppy costumes or
Fake beards.
yeah, just not good, not quality. They weren't bringing the magic that you
they're
will, that,
snorting
you
blow
want
and
stuff.
smoking cigarettes.
So it was like buying a Santa from Wish
Yes.
versus Amazon.
What you get in Wish. You see their ad and you're like, all right, this is going to be great. And then it shows up and it's, 5 sizes too small and didn't come with the batteries that it said
Who
it did.
can raise their hand and say Wish got you at one point in time?
Not Wish, but Facebook ads. Yes.
Wish got me. I actually ordered multiple
I've never been
things
gotten
from
by
Wish.
Wish. No,
Yeah, they got
I
me.
actually don't know
I
what
ordered
Wish is.
multiple things from Wish, and they don't return like Amazon does.
No.
Yeah, Chris definitely does not order from Amazon. He's against that evil empire.
So Coca-Cola, man, good. Now that you say it, like all the ads that were done, that makes way good sense.
But what he decided to do when he had kind of seen that, there were all these, half-assed Santa Clauses out there, he started the first Santa Claus school, which has been going on continuously since then in 1937.
Really?
So
And
it's
over
kind
the
of like
years,
Clown College or
Yeah.
like Monster Jam
it's
school.
a 3-day session that's actually held in Midland, Michigan. So up to
Really?
northeast of us.
It's right here in Michigan?
Yes.
In Midland.
Yep. 3
No
days.
kidding.
3 days, and I believe it's November. So they go through, topics, how to deal with children, how to answer questions about, reindeer, how they take care of them, tips on conditioning, making sure that, Santa doesn't have a heart attack while he's on the job. And just, they put you not through the ringer, but they give you some tips on everything. So I thought that was kind of interesting that it's held here in Michigan.
I never would have thought to look into that. What drove you to look into that, or was that like a top New York Times piece?
Well, I'm thinking of becoming a Santa Claus, so I got no.
Is that right? Well, you were a magician.
I
so
do have the beard is turning slowly white and gray, so I'm getting there.
I think
but
it's
I'm not
more
ready
white
for
and gray than it is whatever other colors in there.
that. I got to trim it down. But no, it just popped up as a Washington Post article this week, so I was like,
How
this
nice.
is kind of interesting.
Another reason Michigan is the greatest state in the union.
Well, I was going to say, if you're going to do some kind of Christmas school, I mean, Michigan to me is the one place you would do that.
I mean, you could do it in Canada or Minnesota,
well,
but
for U.S. is what I'm
you
saying.
want to
You
be
know.
in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, what other state? I mean, so we got Wisconsin, but Michigan or Wisconsin, Michigan.
Well, what other state has lake effect snow? I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Both from Wisconsin to Michigan, so.
Yeah, screw you, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And I don't want the ladies to think that it's exclusively for Santa Claus. They also
men.
take Mrs. Clauses as well.
Well, and now we're in a progressive state, so Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus is interchangeable.
Trans
like
Claus.
husband and wife.
Yep. LGBT clause.
Oh, I like that.
LGBTQ clause.
You know, they should do a Tim Allen Santa Claus with the LGBTQ clause.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a great movie. I'm going to call Tim Allen and tell him about it.
I think so. Actually, that's funny you said. I just watched all those, both of those the other day.
There's 3?
No, there's 2, I think.
There's 3.
Is there 3? Yes. What's the third one?
The escape clause.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. I'll look into it.
Yeah, they're all very, very good. Well, nothing like that to put us in the Christmas spirit, gentlemen.
Although Santa Claus might not be real, you can still put some gifts under your tree by going to True Edge Skate Sharpening and Detailing.
God, I hope kids weren't listening to that one.
I really like the way you were led into that. That was good. You had me on there for a minute.
Way to clear the zone.
I'm like, please tell me you're going to end that with True Edge.
You nailed it.
Or, sorry. Yeah, True Edge.
Okay. Yeah, you did get
sorry.
Right
we have things written down, but, doing a really good job with that.
Sometimes we make notes.
Well, let's get into some meat and potatoes because I'm kind of excited about the hockey talk tonight, cuz.
Yeah, we really don't have a ton, but there's a couple of hard hitters that we should, talk about. Speaking of hard hits, Trouba hit Kahara pretty hard on the chin as he was breaking out of the zone. Probably about 10, 12 feet inside the blue line. Head down. In my opinion, it's a clean Scott Stevens hit from the late 90s. What are you getting from it now?
So
you saw it in slow-mo. I did not show you the video of it in real time.
In real time. I didn't see it in real time. I saw it in slow-mo. So again, we've talked about this before. In slow motion, everybody's a freaking critic because you actually have time to think about it. You see it, which then gives you time to think about what happened. Then you get to see it in slow motion, which gets you more time to think about it. That probably happened all from the time the puck touched his stick to the time he got hit. Probably took less than a second and a half to happen.
Well, yes and no. He did have enough time to collect the puck on his tape because it was a pass from his defenseman that came up as he was curling towards the boards.
Opened up, though. It wasn't a hospital pass.
It was definitely not a suicide pass.
It wasn't a suicide pass, yep.
It was a split second, where he could have looked up. But even if he had taken the time to look up, the damage was probably the train was coming to the train station.
Yes. So looking at that, yes, 90s hit, clean. However, with the new rules, you can't put shoulder to head. Now, that's been around for a while.
You've got the point of contact, the point of initial contact, shoulder to head, which is yes.
And that's what crushed him.
What you're saying is yes. The answer to what you're bringing up is yes. However, I throw a little bit of shade to that rule based on height of people, angle at impact, what the player's doing. If I'm curling with the puck, my head is way lower than you're almost getting your shoulders in line with your hips as you're turning a corner. If somebody's standing you up and they're upright, ready to hit you, you're more than likely going to get hit in the face.
If he's a taller guy too, you want to get higher on him. The higher you hit somebody up top, depending on their position, but the higher you hit them up top, the easier they are to fall over, right? Like that's just what we know. Physics.
Yeah, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got to get up.
Have you ever been knocked down?
Have I ever been knocked down?
Yeah.
Right.
I've been knocked down.
We've
been knocked down.
Yeah, handful of times.
You got to remember, the not so big guys get tossed around like rag dolls. We have a smaller center of mass.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that we can't get thrown 80 fucking feet across the rink when a freight train runs into you.
Yeah, and two, when you're gonna hit somebody, your body also you're squatted, right? So right before contact, you do kind of extend your legs. It helps you get that little bit more force behind the hit, which protects you as the hitter. Because if you hit something, even if it's bigger than you, if you hit it harder and faster, whoever has the most energy going into it is going to win the battle because energy goes from least resistance, right? So say you got a little guy skating way faster, that's how he saves himself. He's moving quicker, the energy goes from him into the guy, right? And vice versa. A big guy puts all his energy via weight into you. So the way you're taught to hit, and even if you weren't taught to hit like this, yes, you do extend your legs at point of impact. However, leaving your feet is something that's illegal. Now, he does not leave his feet. He does extend his legs. He lifts up. Shoulder goes from what probably would have hit him in the chest to the face. The head was down, so he took the shoulder right to the chin, right to the mouth.
Ouch.
It's a very devastating hit. He goes limp instantly.
He was knocked out at the point of contact, which he fell like a ton of bricks on his back, and the head snapped back towards the ice surface. The paramedics were called. The whole game stopped, and it's kind of a testament to putting the game in. How do I want to say this? So you set the game aside, and then reality kind of takes over for a little bit there, because both members of both teams were leaning on each other, embracing one another, because your mortality becomes a little bit more apparent in a moment when you see whether it's your teammate or your opponent laying on the ice, motionless.
Right.
And a stretcher comes out.
You don't ever want that.
That's not you may say it in the heat of the moment that you're going to kill someone or whatever.
Right.
But you really deep down don't feel like you want to like critically injure someone. So
No.
he ends up getting rushed to the hospital. I believe everything's okay. I haven't heard any other reports saying otherwise, but it was a pretty traumatic episode on the rink that night. But it was kind of comforting to see both teams take a knee and for a second there set the hockey game aside and really worry about the well-being of an injured player.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No one wants anybody. Yes, you want to hurt them. Don't get me wrong. Anytime you hit somebody, you want there to be some pain inflicted. Most of the time a hit happens. That's so to me, it's always been like, now, next time you get the puck in the corner, you're going to be apt to make a mistake because you're going to be rushing the play because you don't want me to hit you.
You don't want to get another one.
Right. So to me, like that's where, and so the new rule for those of you who maybe don't know and don't quite understand, because it's really not in the pros in the NHL, I don't see it being, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't see them calling that penalty a lot.
In fact, there was no penalty called on the play. And there was no suspension warranted,
no fines,
or anything of that.
Right.
And I stand by that because the refs had made the call on the ice. That's no different than the Scott Stevens hit on Paul Correa, except now we have a little bit more of a concussion protocol. Right. There was a start of a scrum after that happened, because obviously whenever there's a big hit and you insult
you have to fight
somebody's teammate, you got to answer the bell. It didn't look like I caught a little clip of it, and it was quickly de-escalated based on the current position that Kahara was in at that moment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think again, the new rule is supposed to be that you're not allowed to deliver a hit in a punishing manner. So if the hit is meant to punish and the puck was not played during contact, if the puck is not played, then that's a penalty. Then you have shoulder to head, which is a head check, regardless of whether or not it was intentional. That's still supposed. So when I look at that, but I've been watching the pros, you're not supposed to hit somebody who doesn't have the puck, period. There's still what I consider late hits. Like if that were to happen in our league at our kids' age at Bantam level, that would be a penalty. And I actually just watched a Bantam's game where I couldn't believe this kid bringing the puck behind the net, a kid chasing in his zone, hit him while he had the puck, but didn't attempt to play the puck and took a 2-minute penalty for it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It was crazy because you're not allowed to hit in a punishing manner. Now, that's the new rules, and this is supposed to be in the NHL, but they're not really, I think they're kind of like, how do you really stop that?
So in youth hockey, or
it's supposed to be across the board, but yes.
So you're supposed to make an attempt to play the puck without use of the body, but the body is okay to be in use if you're making the attempt. So as long as you swipe your stick across his stick and throw a body check on him.
Yep. One hand on the stick.
They're changing the checking rule a little bit in Bantams.
So pretty much like that hit right there, that would have been a penalty, mostly because he didn't have a massive attempt on playing the puck, right? He just went straight in for the hit.
Oh yeah, he was definitely a play the body, separate player from puck, and a clean open ice hit based on the real time. Obviously, when you break it down nuts and bolts like we see, and any targeting call in the NCAA, it's broken down moment by moment and impact by impact. And people get ejected from the games.
Yes,
for that, so.
It's crazy. Like I was watching that game, and 3 penalties for checking were called, and I each time I was like, that was a really good hit. Like
a good clean body check.
Clean, but they're really trying to eliminate that damage. But whether I agree with it or disagree, it's irrelevant. They have reasons.
We talked about it over the summer. I can't remember what league it was, but they were taking checking right out of it altogether. It was a major junior league that they were saying, like USHL or East Coast. I think it was probably a step down from each of those. But they're talking about completely eliminating checking from the game.
Yeah, it's crazy. And who knows where we'll be in 5 years. Well, again, it's not the game we grew up playing.
No, it certainly isn't. I mean, they're holding off on checking until you hit the bantam level, which at that point your heights and sizes are so different. I'd rather them introduce checking at squirt level.
Yeah, which it used to be.
It used to be Pee-wee.
Well, and then before Pee-wee, it was squirt. So before our time?
And before our time, it would have been squirts. I think the old-fashioned way of checking was getting your body in a position where you get in between the player and the puck. So you kind of put your hips or your butt out there and shelter the puck away from them. And then it just got into the game got faster. And
hits got bigger.
They just, bigger hits and...
Well, that's the thing. It used to be I separate you from the puck. My partner comes and picks up the puck, right? And that's
old time hockey.
Old time hockey. But now it's actually proven to be more effective if you don't take yourself out of the play. You make a play on the puck, and then you as well become another option. You're able to pick it up. Puck.
Yeah, because when you lay a big hit on somebody, you took him out of the play, but you also took yourself out.
Yep.
And you're reliant on your teammates to pick up that puck
to play for you. Yeah. And so they're just realizing that that's not the best way to play the game. And then you take the punishing factor. So now at youth hockey, if you cheer for a hit in any way, shape, or form, that's a penalty.
Really?
Yep. You can get a 2-minute for cheering.
Wow.
For big hits.
I was just I think I mentioned it last week. I was at the Northview Kenowa game, and that was no different than our high school game. Big hits and big cheers from the student section. It's different now. When we played, you'd have the parents, and then your student section would be off to the side where all your classmates and stuff would hang out on opposite ends of the bleacher area, which is on one side of the ring.
All like 10 students that were there?
Yeah. All right, Chris, thanks.
Hey, you didn't have to say that.
At least there was a couple there.
Mostly wives.
Whatever. Now, apparently, right now, wives. Now, apparently, the student sections line up behind the glass on either end behind the goalies
and watch the game
from there. So they'll sit. They'll sit on their opposing side so they can chirp the goalie or whatever, and then they resurface every intermission. So two resurfacings.
Yep.
Then they switch ends. So the whole students, they'll go in the lobby, warm up, and then they switch ends, which I thought was kind of charming.
Right. Yeah, no, I saw that the other day at our rink. I realized all the students were standing behind the net, and I was like, what the heck are y'all doing? Like,
where was that?
And they were all wearing, like, straight up sweatpants. Like, they did, like,
well, that's kids nowadays.
Pajama day. It was like pajama day. Like, they were, like, flannel, like, not even cute ones, like, like, ugly sweater.
But like
ugly
trashy
pajama.
jammies? Yeah. Well, I went to that hockey game, and I go, it was Saturday night, and I'm like, gosh, I was kind of in my sweatpants having a low-key day watching some football and stuff. And I go, Denali, I think I want to wear my joggers to the game tonight. And she goes, oh, yeah, that's in right now. You can wear joggers with a nice quarter zip. And you're going to be looking fly. Oh, yeah, just like what Jay's wearing.
And a quarter zip.
Right? You nailed it. Yes. So I went out there like that, and there was a ton of people dressed that way. Apparently, that's in again.
That's an in thing, and I like sweatpants. Well, I want to jump in. We're running a little long tooth, but I do want to cover.
We got to talk
this Michigan move.
Yeah, we got to talk about the Zegras pass to Milano. So Anaheim netted a freaking beauty of a goal. Zegras gets behind the net, and he is scooping the puck up on his stick to do the lacrosse style goal, which was coined the Michigan goal. So you scoop the puck up off the ice, and then you go around the front of the net and just,
Yep. So now
shovel it right into the goal.
It's called the lacrosse move, or now the Michigan, because I forget who did it.
I can't remember the player that did it, but he played for Michigan,
Michigan,
and he was the first one
to do
the first one that was broadcasted.
Yes,
to do
true that. The first one that ever got broadcasted.
So this is very similar to that. It looked like he was going to do it. In fact,
Yes.
the broadcast team had said, "Oh, he's going to do the Michigan or he's going to do the lacrosse style goal." Well, he got the puck up on his stick. Nobody's challenging him from behind the net, and then he just does a little flip up over the top of the cage.
Yep.
And then Milano's standing there, and he knocks the puck out of midair, hits it below the crossbar and over the tender shoulder. Good goal.
So I've seen this done, the behind the net flip the puck up and over behind the net, right, and lands right in front of the net. So I've seen that done in the pros
Right,
before.
you passed that one to me
I do that
in
to
our
you.
men's league
Yes.
before.
Sometimes they're a little fast.
Sometimes they're a little high. You got to knock it down with a glove and then try to get a shot off.
Right. But I have seen that. So essentially what it looked like to me is that he goes for the Michigan, but the guy with the defenseman standing, which would be on the goalie side of the net, sees him do this, and he starts cutting him off. So he already goes from front of the net, starting to move behind the net on the side of
So
which
now he can't go that way.
Yeah, he can't do that. So what does he do? He just continues to flip it
Screw
up
it.
over
I'll flip
the
it
net,
over the goal.
and Milano just freaking smacks it
That's
right
right.
out of the air, right over the shoulder. Like, it nicked the crossbar between the shoulder and the crossbar and snuck in there. And off first sight, I thought, no way is that legal. His stick was above the crossbar, but we studied it in depth today.
We did the slow down on it and saw
And he is, I mean, if he's not above it, it didn't look, he was like, if he's not above it, if anything, he is level with it. But he smacks that thing right out of the air, puts it right over the corner of the shoulder and the top cheese, and that was sweet. It was sweet goal.
Great move for Zegras to get the puck on his twig, because you know how hard it is on crappy ice and a wet stick.
And a wet stick, yeah. But those guys, I'm sure
They probably
got
had
somebody
fresh wax
waxing
on
them.
there.
Yeah, there's got to be somebody or them waxing.
The
in
only
between.
time you can lift the puck up off the ice is during warm-ups in our league.
Yeah.
Unless I go to the locker room and get some more wax. Yeah. But also, I mean, the hand-eye coordination from Sonny Milano to knock that sucker down.
Oh yeah.
I mean, 9 times out of 10, I'm swinging and I'm missing.
Swinging and missing. I mean, we were doing a tip drill today, and I was trying to show the boys, and I was like 1 for 10. I'm like, all right.
I digress.
Just keep practicing.
So I have a quick quote here from a comment rather. Well, yeah, it is a quote from Zegras. So he what did he say here? He said he was sold on the pass once he heard Milano yell Michigan, and he kind of wanted to get it to him. He still can't believe it worked. I tried it a couple of times and haven't come close. For him to whack it out of midair under the crossbar was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I think they can both thank Mike Legg, who was the Michigan player back in 1996 in a game against Minnesota.
That's who it was.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you, producer Chris.
Well, moving a little bit forward off this, we get again a little long tooth. So we wanted to talk, bring mention about the Wings real quick. So they were on a 4-game winning streak.
Playoff bound.
I mean, they won 4 in a row, which by definition is a winning streak. But they got waxed last night by the Predators, which isn't a team that I expected to beat them, considering that they took out some pretty big teams in that 4-game streak. But as it stands, the Wings are running their 4th place in their division, and which I believe is Atlantic. Okay, just wanted to double check. Stephan yelled that from the bathroom because he knows all these things. But 4th place, and then if you look over like everybody's records from all the other divisions in Eastern and Western conferences as well, they are pretty much either fourth and third or tied for fourth and third, depending on points. So they're actually doing pretty good considering. There's 8 teams in each, maybe 10 at most.
Eight per, yes.
8 per. So, they're doing pretty good. They're pretty much 500 right now. They got 13 wins, 13 losses.
Yeah, so they're staying 500. They're right up there in the upper half of the 8. And if they can stay in there, they could have the wild card spot. And we're not even halfway through the season yet.
No, I think they're still a contending team to be in the playoffs. Moving forward, though, the Griffs are running right with them in that mansion.
Yeah, taking a step down to the AHL here.
Yeah, let's take a step down. The Griffs are running. They're 9-8-2, where the Red Wings were 13-10-3, but that puts them at 4th place in their Central, and then kind of scrolling through some of the other teams, that puts them pretty much in that wheelhouse. So they're not doing too bad this year. I have not kept up on the Griffins. I haven't been to a Griffins game in over a year.
I think it's probably pushing 2 years for me.
Yeah, it's been a minute. COVID did a number, but I heard that hot dogs are up to $2 now, Chris said, so that sucks.
Thanks, Biden.
It's only on Friday night, but they're coupled with a $2 beer, so you can't really balk at that too much.
No. But Chris did mention that
Brent's not here, man.
Sorry, that there's some open skate going on.
Potentially, the Grand Rapids DDA Downtown Development Authority approved.
That up.
Yep, approved a proposal to allow for public open skate at the Van Andel Arena out on the Griff's ice on a regular, kind of consistent basis. They're planning or hoping to have it open by the end of this year and then throughout 2022.
I'm very interested how they're going to facilitate that with having a common area for everybody.
Yeah, that place is so big.
It's big, but so to be at ice level, you're going to have to enter through the back where they have a security check, and they also have an overhead door, whether they open that up or not, but they're going to have to, slap rubber and benches down for people to change. Yeah. And I also wonder what that's going to do for the revenue of Rosa Parks Circle if the Van Andel offers that.
Well, they're both owned by the city, so you're...
Yeah, true that.
Is the Van Andel owned by the city?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and that's fine. But two, you can't really get rid of Rosa Parks in the sense of that skating outside's nostalgic. So, if you do it, you're going to do it. And you don't go on a whim for the most part. Once you go, you make it a thing, and you probably go with your family often.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
That's something that you do if you want to do the outside skate. They got the Christmas tree lit up.
Yes.
I don't know when Rosa Parks Circle opens up, but I got to imagine with these cold temps, they're probably got some. Oh wait, they're under renovation. They might not
doing some stuff.
I bet you that's why they're doing.
Oh,
this.
that might be part of it.
That might be.
I bet you
it
that's
sounded
what's
like
going on.
They're both going to be in conjunction and stuff, and they'll have skate rental available, and they'll be using the online reservation.
Good.
I bet you that's exactly what this is about. That Rosa Parks isn't going to be open this year, so they're going to move it to the Van Andel,
which is awesome. And
which I think is great. Who wouldn't want to skate there?
I'll be there.
I think it kind of takes away from some of the luster of the arena and it being cool to go there and stuff. I don't know.
Never being allowed. I thought.
Well, they do have those.
It's like an untouchable thing.
They do have those post game skates though.
They do have post-game skates.
True.
We
After
do,
the Griffs.
and when you get into Mites next year, they'll do jamborees there.
We have a jamboree this year.
Oh, okay, good.
Yep. So we have a jamboree in February at the Van Andel.
So,
well, I guess they're just all willy-nilly and let anybody on their ice.
Well, what they do is they get these groups to come in
Hoe
and then
themselves
they sell
out like that?
They sell ticket packages. So then you sell to your family and friends. Those tickets get you into the jamboree, but they also get you into the Griffins game the night before or the night after or later that night. God bless it. Get it together, kid.
They always make sure that the pro shop's open so you can get your swag.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Because the kids run in there, and the next thing you know, you spend $150 on jerseys and crap you didn't need.
Right.
That happened twice.
Mark it twice.
But yeah. No, I think it's kind of cool. Good for them. I'd like to give an update maybe for now on. To check in on the Griffs. I mean, they are local. They are our Grand Rapids team, and believe it or not, I truly believe that Grand Rapids is a hockey city. Whether or not a lot of other people believe this, but the biggest thing we have in sports is the drive and hockey. But I think hockey brings in way more than the Griffs bring in way more than the drive does.
Yeah. Didn't the drive fold?
They might have.
They have. Now they didn't fold. They moved to Detroit, and now the Grand Rapids Gold is the farm team for the Denver Nuggets, but I'm not a
Bring back the
basketball guy.
hoops.
Yeah.
We can't forget at LMCU ballpark. We've
I think
got the
Whitecaps.
Whitecaps.
We do
They're
have
popular
the Whitecaps,
too.
and that's a. But
We have one good spring summer sport and then one good fall winter sport.
But both of these other sports are developmental,
Mm-hmm.
and the AHL is a professional hockey league.
Yes.
So you, at some point in time, you could literally have the National Hockey League and the American Hockey League like they do in baseball.
Yes.
It could be a thing.
Could be a thing.
I'm not saying it's going to be. I'm just saying that the talent-wise, they're close. I wouldn't say that the Griffins could play against the Red Wings straight up, but the Red Wings do pull a lot of players from the Griffins.
They do, yeah.
And they develop them there.
Well, I'd like to get back into them. You know, COVID had its thing, and now I'm ready to
Yeah,
get back.
we should touch a little bit on the hometown team.
And we will. We do have future lineups for getting maybe the Griffin players, a couple of them on the podcast. So
we've been working a couple of deals.
Stay tuned in hopefully here in the next 6 to 12 months we'll have that working.
Yeah, maybe we'll have something by episode 52.
Well, the
you
more
never know.
likes and subscribes that we get, the better chances are that we can do that. And
that's where our listeners come
we
in.
could always do a mixer or meet and greet, you guys. So smash that like button, smash that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Chris, I think this is your job right here.
Go ahead and smash On Your Game Pro Shop, your spot for skate detailing, tape, and accessories.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
Well, we got a nice little fun segment moving into. We're going to do some trivia.
Let's play trivia.
And I want to test the smarts of the listeners, or I want them to test themselves. And let's see how non-smart me and Stephan are today. Chris, you're conducting this
showdown.
So let's get this trivia on the road. So Chris just jumped on the internet here, typed in something for trivia, and he's pulling up questions related to 2021, correct?
No.
Or it's just...
We're talking about food here.
Oh, so food and drink.
We're going to go, yes, the
Food
food
and
and drink
beverage?
segment on it.
The food and beverage segment of the Just Trippin' podcast.
So
So
are we
pretty
gonna...
basic things. These are all open-ended questions. No multiple choice answers will be given.
Okay.
So
Good. So we have
think
to
on the
answer it.
fly.
Think on the fly.
Fair enough.
Now, are we gonna do this where like Stephan goes first, then
First to
if
five?
he doesn't get it right, then I get to steal and
Let's just
Let's
test
do it
the
that
waters.
way with first to five. We can all work together.
first to
on that.
five.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Stephan, you get to answer first on this one.
All right.
What is
well,
the?
Well, we're
I'll
gonna do
always go
continuously.
first then.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I'll answer, and we'll both answer together. But Stephan goes first, and I go second. Right? For
Yes.
Okay,
Then
so-
you can steal my question and get the point for it.
Okay. Cool.
Gotcha. What is the rarest M&M color?
Blue.
Incorrect.
Jay's
The
turn.
rarest M&M color.
Yes. And by the way, all of these answers are according to the internet. So if I'm wrong, blame the internet.
Nobody's listening to this
Right.
anyway.
Purple.
Purple is not
Purple's
even an
never been a
M&M color.
I award you 0 points, and we are all dumber having heard
guessing.
that. Okay, what's the
Take
answer?
a point away from
Well,
him.
it's not green. It's not yellow. It's not
All right.
brown. It's
It
not
is brown.
That's the rarest?
Brown's the
Yeah.
rarest.
Bullshit, I always run into brown.
I love brown.
Damn it. They're
There's
all brown
no
on
difference.
the inside.
I was thinking like guessing.
This
like,
isn't Skittles.
I was like, let's go. Right, Starburst.
Hey, there's
Skittles. Like
Skittles
they got all
in
those
there.
like random packages with different colors.
All right, 0 points. Jay's question.
Jay's question.
What is the common name for dried plums? Yes, dried plums.
Right.
Testicles.
Well, it is
Pretty close, actually.
Geez. I know it's not the right answer, but it's the only thing I
You got to throw something out there.
Raisin. Again, I know it's not.
Incorrect. Stephan?
Prunes.
Correct.
Oh gosh, how did I not know that? I do know that. It's a prune.
That's my question.
Now I feel stupid. All right, now it's Stephan's question. He's got a point.
I got a point.
Which country consumes the most chocolate per capita?
Damn.
Let's try to think a little quicker on our feet here, guys.
I'm just going to go with the USA.
Incorrect.
Europe.
Jay?
Europe.
Well, Europe is not a country.
Well, okay.
Pick one of the.
So
Euro.
incorrect. Switzerland. 0 points.
Toblerone.
Is that in Europe? Because
Yes.
continent. Europe's a continent, right?
Yes.
So I had to pick like Italy or
I was
something.
thinking
Yes.
Godiva, like the chocolate.
Swiss chocolate.
Right.
Well,
Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Toblerone. All right. Jay's question.
What is the name given to Indian food cooked over charcoal in a clay oven?
What? Where
You
are
can
coming-
just pass.
These are horrible.
Thai. And even though I know that's not right. That's my guess.
Incorrect. Stefan, any idea?
Mugu Gai Pan.
Incorrect as well.
Oh shoot.
What is it?
Tandoori?
Oh,
Tin.
gosh. I never would have guessed that.
Maybe scroll down to some of the easier ones.
No, it's fine. This is funny.
What was the first soft drink in space?
Coca-Cola.
Correct.
2 points for Stephan.
Gosh, dang it.
0 for
I wasn't
Jay.
gonna
2
guess
calls
that.
out for Coca-Cola.
I was going to say water.
Not a sponsor yet.
Water or milk?
Jay.
How did you know that, Stephan?
I had no idea.
Oh, guess. Well, this twice you guessed Coca-Cola today, and you've been right on both.
Well, hey, maybe.
Shark.
Jay, what is the most common consumed manufactured drink in the world?
Coca-Cola.
No.
I hate this game. It's milk.
Could you please repeat the question?
What is the most consumed manufactured drink in the world?
So it has to be manufactured. It's got to be milk.
Manufactured? Wouldn't like any carbonated beverage be manufactured?
Well, you could say pop, I guess, but I was kind of assuming it was going to be more specific than that.
I would say pop would be my first choice.
It's a
but
type
I'm
of
gonna,
drink.
Tea.
Yes. did you look through these already?
Come on.
Jay, are you even on the board?
You had me at type
Hey,
of drink.
listen, I am not ashamed to say that I'm not the smartest person you've
All
ever
right, so
met.
that was a steal. This is my question.
Which is the only edible food? What is the only edible food that never goes bad?
McDonald's French. No, just kidding. The only
McDonald's.
edible food that doesn't go bad. Cheese.
No, what? Cheese goes bad instantly. Okay.
Incorrect.
I award you 0 points. Thanks, asshole.
Jay, any idea?
The marshmallow.
Incorrect. Honey.
Damn it. I wish I would have thought about that for a second longer.
Like, does a marshmallow ever go bad? I feel like those
They
things
do.
can sit on
They
the
do go
shelf.
bad.
I think
But
it's
honey,
stale.
honey does not go bad.
Yeah.
That is correct.
All right, fair enough. All right, so it's my question.
Jay's question.
Which country
God, here
Here
we
we
go.
go again.
Embarrass me again.
Which country invented ice cream? And if you say Antarctica, don't, because that is incorrect.
Michigan, obviously. Hudsonville.
Which country invented ice cream? I'm gonna go with because they turned it like the butter thing. I think that's when they made it. So, country.
I wish we had video for that hand
Let's
gesture
go
you
with
just made.
Greenland because I don't really know.
At least you named a country this
Yes,
time.
yeah, I tried.
That would also be part of Europe,
Yep.
but that is incorrect.
All right, fair
Well,
enough.
if you said Greenland, I have to guess Iceland.
Also incorrect.
Damn.
Iceland's green, actually.
Interestingly enough, China.
China.
I think I've heard that before. Now that you say that.
They're onto something over there.
Gosh dang it.
3-0. My question?
Yes. Hendrix, Larios, and Seagram's are some of the best-selling brands of which spirit?
Well, that's tricky because Seagram's makes a couple, like all of them.
Right.
All the variations of spirit. So say the first two again.
Hendrix and Larios. I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of either of them.
well,
Hendrix?
you don't drink good blank then.
I
If you
don't
haven't
drink
had
good
Hendrix.
gin.
That is correct.
How do you know these things? I was gonna say whiskey.
Seagram's gin.
I think I have some Hendrix over there actually on the bar. But anyways,
I know.
And honestly, until you said a good blank, I would have been able to not even answer that question correctly.
Well, it could have been vodka, whiskey, bourbon.
Well, I
gin.
didn't even know he was talking about drinks. I was like, what the hell?
Well,
I knew he was talking
That's a
when he said
spirit.
Seagram's.
well,
he
that's
said
what I'm like. What do you
spirit,
mean
yeah.
spirit? Like the Christmas spirit?
Jay's got spirit. Yes, he do. Jay's got spirit. How about you?
Jay's down 4-0.
yeah, this is the last question for food. So
Jay's question.
let's see if Jay can get on the board. From which country does Gouda cheese originate?
Gouda
I like that
cheese.
you get all the
Isn't it Gouda
countries.
cheese?
Gouda cheese. He said it right.
I'm gonna go with Italy.
Props on a country.
Great guess.
But no. I never would have gotten this. I would have gone with like Italy or
Right. Yeah.
one other country that's nearby there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would have guessed
Gouda
that exact
cheese?
area.
Lord Almighty, I don't know.
Is that? It's. I think I know.
Yeah,
That's it after he says.
I'm just gonna say Switzerland.
Incorrect.
Can I say is Greece a country or is that a?
Yes, Greece
Okay.
is a country,
that
but
the
that is
answer?
not the
Oh,
answer.
man, I would've
It's
guessed
the
it was
Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
Really?
That was
Okay.
my second choice.
Hopefully, maybe this other topic will get me on the board.
All right, guys, we're going to switch over to entertainment then.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm way better with entertainment.
Stephan, what was the first toy to be advertised on television?
Wow.
The first toy.
Yes.
Lincoln Logs.
No.
The radio flyer.
No. Mr. Potato Head.
Ah, damn it.
Now
That's a good one.
known as Potato Head.
right.
Yeah, because it can't be Mister.
What was the first feature-length animated movie ever released?
Feature length animated movie. So when you say feature length, does that mean
Like a movie.
like an actual movie?
Yeah, like an hour or so.
I gotta go with Gum. Chris is shaking his head. So
You can't shake it.
now I'm going with like the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Incorrect.
I
Stephan,
have two in mind.
well, I need one answer.
And I'm going to tell you both first.
Well, you know it's not.
and then I'm going to
Gumby.
pick one. They both start with the letter F. Fern Gully, or my choice is Fantasia.
No and no.
God
way
damn it.
before that.
Yeah. You
Mickey
gotta go
Mouse.
way back to
it
the
was
Disney
Mickey Mouse,
Vault.
wasn't it?
No, that was not a full-length animated movie.
Yeah, see, Gumby wasn't either.
It was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
God, that's a good one.
Yeah, Fantasia was
Yeah,
right
right,
up there.
yeah.
I thought that was
Snow White.
beforehand.
No, it was in like the 50s or 60s.
Well,
I
fuck
think.
me
Because that's
running.
been remade a couple times.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Relax,
Before
guys.
Disney got it.
Jeez.
Hey, who am I to talk? I'm 4-0, so
All right, give me an entertainment question, Chris.
What were the four main characters' names in the TV series Golden Girls?
Ooh. Okay.
I wouldn't be able to get this.
Blanche, Dorothy, Rose,
the fact that you know this, I'm
and
gonna get the last one.
Sophia.
Yes.
That's 5.
And there's the winner.
Winner, chicken dinner. Thank you for all of those Golden Girl reruns that I watch on a regular
I
basis.
was gonna say when you
Guilty
said Blanche,
pleasure.
I'm like, he knows that one. He's gonna get the rest of them because I would have went with Betty instead of Blanche,
Yeah.
only because Betty White was one of the characters, I believe. Yes,
That was
Well,
Rose.
she was one of the actresses.
Yes. Rose was the character. Betty
Character.
White was her
Is her.
actor.
Well, yeah,
Is her
yeah,
actor.
yeah. Sorry,
Yes.
yes, sorry. You said
Yes.
that.
And Dorothy was not Bette Midler. What's the girl's name? Oh shoot. Remember the movie Airheads where it's like, I want a naked picture of so and so. Wait, how do you think I'm supposed to find that? Huh? And we need a football helmet full of cottage cheese.
Chris is about to tell us.
I have not looked at it yet.
Oh.
So
I can't remember. B. Arthur was
That's
Dorothy.
right.
B.
Yes.
Arthur.
Yeah, sir.
Yep.
God.
Hey, all right. Well, that was fun, guys. I like the trivia. If you guys don't, maybe let us know. Send us an email or something like that. Does anybody have anything else to add?
nope.
Nope. Thank you for listening and visiting our sponsors. Don't forget that we welcome chirps, so don't be shy. Also, check out our socials and our website, justchirping.com. Lastly, continue to like, follow, and subscribe. Tell your friends. See you at the rink.
Welcome to the show. It's called Chirpin', yo. And chirpin's what we do. And if you play a little bit of hockey, then I'm sure you'll be chirping too. So I started this show with my good friend and my crazy ass cousin. So we get on these mics and we chirp all night, 'cause we're chirping to you. So pull up a chair and grab a brew and listen to